My name is Brendan. I was the team leader keeping these scoundrels and scallywags on track, and also leading brainstorming sessions and how the app is going to be structured. So that's basically the ways in which the main screen and how it relates to all the other screens basically looks and feels, and then Nina and Ted took care of the GUI and the
Hey, I'm
backend
Ted.
code.
I wrote the backend for the application. It's all the equations and all the tables that you see when you run your application.
Hi, I'm Nina. I did most of the GUI stuff for our app, so I did all the user interface, like the sparkly buttons that you see and that you can actually press. I had to learn all of the Java to make the buttons link up with the actual code. That would kind of take Ted's back end and make it something tangible for the user.
Hi, my name's Connor, and I was in charge of interfacing between the back end and front end for this project, so I was primarily responsible for working with Ted and Nina, making sure that the output of either matched up with the input of the others.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I did most of the documentation. I got all the different pieces together of who did what, as well as went to every meeting and talked about the timeline and just kind of went through step by step what our goals were, what we wanted to have accomplished, what we didn't get accomplished, and kind of how we transitioned from one project into the next, as well as I made the PowerPoint and kind of just worked with the team and helping trying to code.
Hey, Connor, we just got this new bit, and I don't know what the speeds and feeds for it should be.
I don't know, Ted, I'm busy. Can you just go check the chart or something?
All right.
Damn,
Connor, it's not on there. What do I do? Can't find it on the chart. Do you know what the speeds and feeds should be for cutting this piece of aluminum?
I don't, but I did get this cool new app that we can use to check it.
This is our Deus Ex Machina app for Android for BUEC 327 and Spring 2013. The Deus Ex Machina app is designed to be a valuable reference tool to those working in a machine shop. It features three main functionalities, as we see here when we wake up the emulator, the first of which is a feeds and speeds tool. It allows the user to select the material they're using and then select the diameter of the tool that they want to cut with. This is important in a machining operation because you need to make sure you're removing chips and material at a proper rate. So if you're using plastic, for example, it could melt, and that's why we need to calculate these numbers every single time we do a machining operation. So here I'm entering in the size of the end mill, numerator, denominator. It's nice for this format because sometimes you'll have really, really weird sizes. I saw a 7/32 end mill once, and that was really odd. And so those are the types of things that are just nicer to have to enter in, especially using English units. You want to use fractions. And now we would enter the feed rate for aluminum. Good feed rate is around 800, so we'll enter that in. And that's looking up in a reference table. And you can enter in either feed or speed. You can go either way on that. And you'll see that the spindle speed is around 13,000. So we can go back and look at the second function of the machining help app that we've built. The second function is a fraction to decimal calculator. So kind of like what I said earlier, that when we're doing machining in America, we use a lot of fractions in terms of 64ths and things like that. And it's sometimes nice to kind of calculate different things based on that. So 5/16 is the size of an end mill that you might see, and it will just display what the decimal form of that is if you need to do a quick conversion. The final functionality is a drill and tap reference. Most people don't know that a tap is what you call the machining operation when you're going to put threads inside a hole, and you need to use a specific drill before you do a tap. So anyone who has ever had to use a drill chart knows that this feature will be much handier than the poster alternative. So as you saw in the video, there's posters that you look at that are usually put up in machine shops where you have to look at all these options. You have to look at the size thread you want, the size fit you want, and then you have to choose the right drill. But this just tells you that you use a number 7 drill for a 1/4-20 tap, and a 1/4-20 is a thread sizing that's pretty standard and that's pretty common thread size. We could see ourselves expanding those lists and expanding some functionality of this app, and that the 4 of us in this group, being mechanical engineers, would probably use this app on a daily basis when we're in the machine shop.